with the apartments and how many apartments, and he needed two measurements that his team didn't take. And so I got one from the exterior of the building. Like, I didn't know this, but both of those stairwells, the one that goes to the basement and the one that goes from Main Street to the second floor, you know, the big beautiful stairwell, they're parallel with each other. They're in alignment.
Really?
And that was one of his questions. So I just measured the outside of the building and found out that that was the case, that they are parallel, which I don't think is what he wanted to hear. But he had to have another measurement inside the building, but it was in the contained area. And so I asked Miguel he's our foreman, I asked him to let me know when I could get in there safely. And he did it himself. He said, I'll measure it. Tell me what you need measured. So I thought that was really nice.
And he was dressed for it.
He was dressed for it, and he took pictures to document it, and he texted them to me, and so we got our developer everything we needed because of our hazmat foreman was willing to go
They've
the
been
extra
so
mile.
helpful, Tetra Tech and everybody. They've got a can-do attitude that is just so refreshing.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, and it's so, and they've also been pretty reasonable with pricing. You know, they haven't really tried to gouge us, I don't think. I think they've been a good outfit.
Yeah, they have. And actually, Tanya says they're a little more expensive typically than a smaller firm, but she says as fast as they get things done, it's worth it, and that's why she chose them for us.
You know, when asbestos first started to be a deal, all of your insulation contractors got certified for asbestos removal, and they started removing asbestos. And like, more than half of them went bankrupt. Even though it was a big boondoggle, it was so expensive. So those that survived are really good at it, and I think we got one of the best.
I do too. Tanya says he is the best in her opinion. Because he does, he's just a hard worker and he ain't scared of, he's like, yeah, let's go. Yep. Okay, I'll be back in 20 minutes.
20 minutes, yep,
Okay, and we'll meet with Emery.
yep.
Thank you.
After we adjourn,
I'll
after the
get this
public come up.
right back to you.
We'll be quiet when you come back. We'll be sleeping.
Hey, trouble, not two. How are you guys?
Keeping up?
Yes, keep it up. You learn a lot in these meetings, everything that's going on.
We save the world every Friday.
Oh, yes, there's some good at it.
It's a heavy lift, as he says.
Yeah.
I only played two.
At 3:30 it'll be the Ukraine war.
We've been working on that for a
Wipe
while.
that out.
No, I didn't.
We finally decided to get involved because it's just been,
Out of hand, yeah.
I don't even know where
It's solved. It's
so have fun.
Well,
So they're turning that building into apartments? Are they turning the Weirs building?
Maybe.
just in one portion in the northern portion of it, they might turn it into apartments. And then maybe, they still are gonna be, the southern end, when they lift the roof up, then it'll be more either office space or apartments, one or the other.
We have a housing need, but they don't have to do housing. It's whatever the developer thinks pencils out,
Yeah,
but the talk has been just what Mike was saying.
yeah.
And it wouldn't hurt the community at all to have that housing.
No, it wouldn't.
These 12 businesses on the top floor. What's going on? There was only one bathroom.
I've never been over that way, I don't know how big that building is.
It's big.
It's big.
There was 5 businesses on the main floor. Post office, barber shop, grocery store.
Wow.
Of course, the main part was furniture and carpet. That was weird.
Okay,
So,
wow. So lots of room in there.
32,000 square feet.
Wow, yeah, that would be great for the community.
I felt me, the doctor was up there, the oculist was up there,
Wow.
the dentist was up there.
We're doing busy. I'm gonna return this to them. I'll come out in the hall. Thank you. That is so exciting.
Finally, huh?
Yes. Yes, yes. It's coming into fruition.
We're not having to pay for them, are we?
No,
They are.
everybody knows. I asked him, I said, listen, can you put them in a floodplain? He said, well, we're gonna have to build up the base, so they're above the floodplain, but he said it isn't very much, so 2 or 3 feet maybe. And I asked him about down at Bear Pond, I said, how high is that? What's a little bit more berm down there? I don't know. But that concrete's out of the, I think that next to the concrete's out of the floodplain.
I'm pretty certain they're just not gonna say yes it is unless they do an actual show.
Yeah.
So I feel pretty confident that it would be. Well, and then I guess maybe not. I was thinking, well, we're just gonna have to, by eminent domain, take that railroad right away.
Yeah, probably good.
You're on YouTube.
Pardon?
You're on YouTube.
Right now,
I know.
Okay.
We did not say that. We did not say it it was in jest and not in, we know better.
you mentioned no names,
You know?
but it's Phillips 66. Oh, I mean, you think they donated?
What's that?
Phillips 66. You think they just donated?
You know, I think if they actually knew, and we probably should do some research on it. Yes,
I think
Rachel.
we should get
Say,
some and just talk to them about it. Certainly not doing that many, but
say, what I need are those little clips that hold the
Yeah.
headlight in on the
I
1999.
got 1,000 pounds of seed in the back of my pickup. I'd like to go put it in there.
And then the long bolts that
You
you
can't
use
get DIS to answer the phone.
to point them.
I mean, it doesn't even ring. I can't figure that out. I tried both phones. It says it's calling, but it don't ring.
Why do you want DIS?
Well, they came, remember, that guy came over, and he had Ron show him around, and he'd give us a bid on an IT. But it just kind of went
With
nowhere.
their screws,
Never heard from
you
him
have
again.
to have this little bit of
I
plastic.
don't know if you know Ron,
that
deep
you screw
six.
into.
I don't
Of
know.
course they broke.
Well, I was just gonna
They just
call him.
poke,
ask him
yeah,
what happened to
they
it.
just poke you in
We
there
got one
and
from
then you can,
Mako.
they're threaded and then allow the screws to go in.
It's about $2,500 a month less.
What did Mako use to come up with their bid? Did we give them a copy of
Yeah,
our agreement with Norris and Ellis?
that's what I did. Just so I know all the servers and all the,
All right.
didn't know how else to do it.
No, that's the way to do it. We did the same thing with the guy with DIS. We said,
What I can do is I can stop by
so,
later today if you've got them, you got them, if you don't, order them if you would. Does that make sense?
it isn't an issue of being unhappy with service.
No, it's just
It's
a
a
little bit
surprise.
about money. And a possibility if we go more severely, they might give us a break.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, we're kind of in a situation where we can't lose,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, it looks good to me. I'm just kidding.
So So there's people out there that wanna come in for public comment.
Yeah, one of them is,
Huh?
one of them
Oh, great.
is, so we'll see.
Come on in, have a seat.
Okay, all right.
All right, I'm
well,
gonna open
I'll stop
public
by and
comment,
look at
okay?
it.
We're opening public comment, you can
All right,
come
see
in.
that.
I'm the one. Hi, guys.
She's the one.
This is public.
Well,
Is this-
yeah, she is, because it's public. I'm just tagging on to
I
it.
think you're all, I'm Dolores Pizarro, you may not, and this is my husband.
Jeannie Dolores.
I don't know if you might not know us, we don't know you. We're just here first of all.
Wait,
couple
wait.
things.
I've heard of you guys.
You've heard of yours? Oh my God.
I've known Mike for
Your-
years
is our-
and years.
Here's our picture up on the wall, let's know. First of all, I want to thank you guys for being so proactive with things in this community.
Actually, let me stop, I got officially open public comment.
Could you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize, we're glad you're here, but there's rules that if we don't.
Oh, we better follow
And
them.
also know that you're being
Stickler
recorded.
for rules.
Whoa.
So, is there any public comment on any public matter within the jurisdiction of the commission that is not on the agenda? And you're up.
That was
Okay.
quick.
Again, to thank you guys for being proactive and being so good for this community, because this, your jobs are difficult, you couldn't give you the job for a million years, but we appreciate you guys, the whole town, your staff, wonderful. So what we're here about is the horse, the
Okay,
busy horse. And we love that horse, and we know all the history came from whatever, and actually, he was the last place he was when our friends ran that cafe. He was at the.
Grovers?
Yeah, they ran that cafe
They're a
for
couple
us, so
friends.
they know all about it. But anyway, he's such a lovely thing, and we really feel he should be a centerpiece right where he is, and maybe do a historical thing around him with kind of all kind of stuff, and maybe some raised lavatories, bathrooms, so it would, and then maybe it could become a
Restaurant.
rest area. I don't think we have a
What?
decent
Has
rest area
anything
in
ever
this
in
town.
this,
We've come to the same conclusion
Have you?
that with the bathrooms is a problem.
That will all be
It's in the
cities.
floodplain.
Is that the city problem?
Because that's city's property.
oh,
Oh.
There will be.
It will be.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
So-
I mean, it'll be their rules, no matter, even if we own it, it's still their rules.
Really?
Oh.
So then a guy has to approach the city and talk to them about that?
And it's gonna
Well,
be
they-
FEMA, there's no permanent structures allowed.
Yeah.
What, is a bathroom or permanent structure?
well, probably.
Porta potty?
But unless it's a vaulted,
Bolted,
Well,
don't get
even
it,
then, it has to be raised above the flood.
yeah, but how much would they have to raise that, you think?
Well, that's, well, you know how high it was on the Busy Bee.
Yes.
Man, I don't know, that thing would have to be.
Well,
You know,
we
but
can find it.
truthfully, I don't think we'll ever have a flood like that again because of all the flood
Can we get that
mitigation.
right?
Because of all the flood mitigation that has happened. I mean, look at all the things that folks have done up the road.
Right.
Yeah, and so we need to keep that, I think, in our heads too, you know, a lot of improvements have been made, but, you know, anyway,
And
I
just so
just,
you know, though, we will have no say over that, that's a FEMA
Okay.
floodplain issues. But they have been working on bringing back the floodplain level based on, there's some mitigations in play to help the river flow, that in the next flood, the river wouldn't rise as high.
oh, okay.
So, who knows?
So they're reevaluating the floodplain itself.
Level.
Oh.
Oh, look at this.
And
one.
just know that the horse is going to be in a good place, no matter, I mean, they have agreed to that, right? Have you not
No,
agreed
we're
to?
gonna put it as remotely unseeable. No, but the thing that you just described, there's a committee that's gonna see the
Decide.
horse.
Okay.
But there's been a rendering, do we have a copy of that rendering?
Oh, yes, didn't one of our artists,
I did,
local
yeah.
artists or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
There you go. You wanna look at that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Is that Greg
Is that
Wilhelm?
Greg's?
Is that Greg's?
yeah.
Yeah, that's Greg's.
Greg did that.
I'll let you look at this real
I
quick,
think
but
that's
where
the
this
best.
goes is up, but as Mike said, they're thinking about putting it down at the Busy Bee with a plaque and a history.
Put a plaque on it, a history for the Busy Bee.
And so what, the land around it then, if you did nothing, now that the city owns that?
It has to go, it has to stay green.
Yeah,
Just like
although
Deer-
there's planning going on for the whole Bear Collins
Yeah,
thing.
the whole area.
Maybe there might be DEQ money to develop something there.
You know, how does Because, you know, like in a floodplain and so forth, I don't know if you remember that flood that was in Rapid City years ago.
You see this one? Pretty nice.
And anyway, they made it in, it was a floodplain. It came down there, it killed several people, you know, drowned. And I was in South Dakota at that time, and anyway, it was a floodplain. They moved everybody out of there, everybody that owned houses, they got them out of there. And now there's a school, a high school down there, there's a grade school down there, there's a new civic center is down there. And how the heck can they do that? You know,
Well, the reason that it flooded is because that was a dam bust.
it was a dam bust, yes.
And so they no doubt repaired that dam, and that allowed them to go
See, because
back.
when it first happened, that was, you know,
Yeah,
because my uncle lived down there and they had moved him out of there.
really?
Yeah, he couldn't live there anymore. They tore his
Anyway,
house
so
down.
your suggestion as to what we can, because I don't have a lot of senior friends. But anyway, they're very interested in all of this, and
Oh, yeah.
we're wondering how should we go forward? Is there anything we should do as concerned citizens?
We're talking to the city.
Talk to
Start
the
bringing-
city?
Set up a committee of what to
The
do.
city's
Yeah, but hang
gonna,
on.
yeah,
The city doesn't own that property.
no.
Not yet.
Well, not yet. I mean, is
But
the
they
plan to
will.
give it to them?
I think the county's gonna, we can give it to them.
Okay,
Just like those
But
4
they can-
lots we still own down there, we haven't given to them.
okay. So that's the first hand, is who's gonna actually own the property?
And when is that determination?
Yeah,
Once everything's done, once all the is destroyed
Oh,
and,
Which is scheduled to take
Everything-
place July-ish,
July, they're gonna destroy it?
maybe later than that.
somewhere in there.
and then you'd have to contact the Bear Collins committee.
That's who I think they should talk to.
Yeah, and that's Dan Eisline,
And
that's
actually, Mike Turley's.
Mike Turley's on the
Okay,
committee
and so
too.
and you have probably in the paper when you guys meet or whatever.
We meet on Wednesday afternoons.
Every Wednesday?
Yeah, I saw that Bear Collins, and I'm like, what, so that's that whole area down
Down
there?
there.
Okay.
It's everything, the end of Main Street,
Mhm.
so it's about, between 35 and 50 acres, depending upon how you want to measure it.
So maybe you can answer my question, what's gonna happen to all that down there? At the stuff, you know, across the highway?
Number 3 South.
There's a mess,
You can't do anything about it, it's privately owned.
privately owned.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. We own, it's checkerboard ownership now. There's some of it the county owns, and some of it is still privately owned.
So FEMA, they didn't sell to FEMA, is that
Right.
right?
They didn't
They
sell. They just.
I don't know if you know this or not, but over where Carson's used to live,
Yes,
down there, that's
yes.
gonna be a fishing access.
So
With the
if it's a
rest-
fishing access, they're gonna have porta potties
Yes,
down
they
there.
are.
Yeah,
Well,
they're gonna build them up above the flood.
Yeah,
There you go, so
And
they,
that's Fish, Wildlife and Parks.
yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying, there is a possibility
And there's a
that can happen.
possibility that could happen there at the site too.
well, you know, so sort of big picture,
They're gonna need bathrooms.
Yeah,
Almost everybody needs one once in a while.
Once in a while.
some, us often, but anyway.
there's, big picture is there's DEQ money that we're in the process through the committee, the Bear Collins Committee, through a Roundup Reach. There's a firm, Great West, is doing a feasibility study, looking into what we can do with that entire area.
Ah, okay.
Mm.
I think we wanna get your ideas in the hat there somehow,
Yeah.
so that if there is some maybe development of that Busy Bee area, there may be DEQ money to do that.
Mm.
So, you know, I think somehow getting plugged into one of those committees, we were just talking about this earlier with Teresa. And so, well, that's my thoughts, what do you think?
Well, the number one priority for DEQ is to mitigate mining. Anything that happened with, they can, if there was a mine in that area, that's where DEQ got involved.
Yeah.
So there may or may not be DEQ money, but it's kind of sounded like it's depending on how you word it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
If you can find a piece of coal there, DEQ will get involved.
Oh, well, excuse me, I'm going looking for.
Well, and so that Bear Collins, that's why there's money
Oh,
in
yeah.
development. They're
Yeah.
working on ideas and feasibility. And it's just my thought that this horse at the Busy Bee might be, in that whole Busy Bee area, like Mike's kind of alluding that, well, maybe that'll go back to the city. That'll be the city's issue to deal with that. But, there may be money, there may be grant money to deal with it. And the city's good at getting grant money too, I might
Yeah.
add, so.
And Teresa's a wonderful person
Yeah.
for scouring
Finding money.
every corner for every
Yeah.
dime. She's a fabulous asset to this
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I just wanted to mention that to you guys. We didn't know where to go, but I thought, well, we need to start someplace because people in this community are really interested. And if the horse went, there would be, oh my, a big funeral and then a protest. No.
No, we got plans for it.
And you-
I
and
mean,
you
there will
guys
be
do the-
plans, but it's gonna be based on what people want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And you guys do the research on things, you know, like that, you know?
Yeah.
So-
And here's a researcher right here, and she has a lot of answers. So thank you very much for your time, and we have other.
Thank you guys
ideas
for
with
coming
concerns.
in.
Well, again, we appreciate you guys.
You bet.
We do. Thank you.
You take care now.
You bet.
We will.
See you.
You're next.
All right. What's up?
Her turn.
Okay.
And your name is?
Hi, guys.
Your name is?
Doreen Kowalski. I want to know if it's an option, if we could name the arena after Rainbow.
Well, there's an idea.
You knew he
That's a,
passed
that's a,
away.
that's a fair board issue, but you could take that to. You mean
Yeah,
the rodeo down there, the rodeo?
The arena, yes.
You know, I'll bet you there would be some portion of it. His
We
name can
certainly
be
will.
added somehow. Yeah. That's a
But
good,
it-
one.
but
That's
it
a
is
very
for the
good
fair
point.
board.
You know, I was thinking of that myself.
We got Marion there, Marion Park.
Yeah, Mary, that's Mary.
I know it's
Well, we
Marion
can
Park,
certainly
but the
put a
arena
Rainbow
doesn't
Park
have
there
a,
somewhere, a rainbow, whatever.
Mm,
like the Ray Hillman Arena.
Yeah,
Mm.
You'd
yeah.
have to take it to the fair board.
I think it's a great idea.
Okay.
They'll mention it. Well, we don't know when the next fair board meeting is. They just had one. They're gonna have two in June.
It's like the fourth Tuesday, but yeah, they're gonna
I
bring
can
it.
stop by and ask Reed.
No, Reed's not
Reed,
on the fair
well,
board.
He's out, but Angie might know too.
You know, Angie Tatman.
She's on the board. Reed's
She's
not on the board.
Right.
I talked to her probably before I talked to anybody.
Yeah, because Reed's not on the board.
Not the
I
rodeo.
just stopped at the bank to talk to her and she was,
Was she, you did or didn't?
I stopped, but I didn't talk to her
Oh,
because
because
she,
she was busy.
yes.
Yeah. You know, we'll mention that to her. It was,
And
I'm
I'll
thinking,
probably
I'm
see her this
thinking the
week.
same way, you know, he needs to be recognized under
He's in the
somewhere.
Hall of Fame now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
February he was inducted in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, glad he got there.
Yeah.
And what was his real name? Sorry, I'm not from.
But he
We'll do
rodeoed
something.
there all his life and then
What was his real name?
Ray Hillman.
Raymond.
Raymond.
I would rather, he's,
Okay.
you could say Raymond Rainbow. His dad called him
Rainbow,
Rainbow all
I
the
think
time.
Rainbow Hillman and.
Yeah, everybody called him Rainbow.
Everybody knows
And
the
his
guy.
dad, you know, he called it, referred to him as Rainbow all the time.
Yeah,
Well, good.
yeah, he did, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, next stop, the fair board.
Yeah.
We'll mention it to him.
Yeah, if you don't
You
do
don't know
it.
the fair
But you
board.
might hit up Angie.
Dorian, you know who I am. Yeah. Yeah, I talk to Angie about every day, but like I said, I just had this thought today and I thought, we need to do that if it's possible, to name
Yeah.
that arena after
Yeah,
us.
they need something down there.
All right,
His name
you
All right.
guys have a great weekend, thank you.
Take
See,
care.
Mark.
I was close, so. I guess I
You're
was
up.
here next, so I'm still waiting for my answer from you guys. I came in over 3 months ago, and I've not got the answer in writing that I asked to get. And I talked to Ben one day, and he told me he was looking for some things, and I haven't heard from him. But this deal settled up.
What was the question?
You have to go back to your minutes. We were all on the video, so you guys can go back and check it all out. I came back in with the letter they've written out that I know. You guys have that. I brought it in again.
Well, we'll look into it.
How long?
God knows.
No, Mike, this is going to be 2 years in about 9 days. I think it's long enough. I want it settled.
Well, we'll get you an answer.
Okay?
But if Ben's gonna look into things, Ben has looked into things.
I didn't hear you, honey.
If Ben said he was gonna look into things, he's,
No, it's nothing to do with these guys. There's a couple other things he's checking out.
about that?
Sort of, but not really. No, it's separate issues.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
I was gonna
these
say,
guys-
he's been doing a jury thing,
I
he's
know,
been
I
very
know.
busy.
Yeah. But
It is, our letter, our answer to you would be predicated on what Ben instructs us to do
Okay.
or advises us to do.
It's been a long time, Mike, and you know, I talked to you up at the school and you said you'd get on it, not a word back or talk about it. So it just goes on and on and on, and like I say, on I think it's June 9th, this is 2 years that this all started. 2 years ago this all started. So, okay? 2 weeks?
It's gonna be, we can't push Ben any faster
No,
than.
this really isn't Ben stuff, this is all
Yeah,
stuff.
No, Yes,
It
it
is,
is.
but I
That's
think,
just
I
what
think
I-
what Ben's gonna tell us, it's a civil matter,
Yeah,
and if you wanna sue, that's what he's gonna tell us.
Well, I need it right,
No, you don't.
Not from us.
Why would we give you
Scribble.
something that in writing?
because it all started in writing, why wouldn't it finish in writing?
I guess I disagree. I think if you want us to take some action, you've gotta send us a letter or something.
How many times have we come in here?
You've come in here with these letters, but it's always been you're directing them at us when it really has to do with private ownership. People.
Now, wait a minute, if this was private, how can our county sheriff go out and take care of stuff? How do you guys involve him in it?
He went out there and painted signs, he's allowed to do that, as
Yeah,
the
you
county
know,
sheriff.
Barb, I think you're expecting us to take action that we're not gonna take unless.
Okay, there's the answer.
And I'm just trying to be honest with you. In my mind, there's nothing we can do. Nothing we can do unless you see that something that the county needs to do for you. That you